Today on Voiding Warranties, I'm going to fix the things I found when taking the Blue Beast out the first time under boost. I'm going to change out all the water that's in there for actual coolant. I'm going to replace the spark plugs because I'm getting spark blowout at high RPM. And I'm going to change the fuel pressure sensor because it's a Chinese-made piece of crap. Let's get started.
Voiding Warranties cannot be held responsible for the messes you make in your own driveway. Heck, I can barely be held responsible for the messes I make in my own.
Now the coolant drain on this thing is not really in that bad a spot. I've seen a lot worse, but it's still not in a great spot, and I need a bigger Phillips screwdriver to do this. 90% of auto repair is going back and forth when you don't have the right tool. All right, now let's get back under here before I splash coolant in my face again. At least it's mostly water this time. Yep. This is not that bad a job. Now I've got to get the coolant drain on the radiator first without stripping it. Again. Oh, it's turning, it's turning! I'm not stripping it any worse than it was before. Oh yeah, I forgot. The other bad part is I tend to drop it in whatever I'm draining it into. This is probably going to make a huge mess. All right, not such a huge mess, and it's actually kind of green. That's a plus. I guess it's not 100% diluted. So it's not coming out very quickly right now, but I can fix that. When I take the cap off, it'll release the vacuum, and I should be able to drain a lot faster. And make a huge mess. Gah! That's not the worst mess I've made doing this. Actually, that's pretty tame. Woohoo! Let me get those absorbents. Let me clean up some of my mess here. Coolant everywhere, at least it's mostly dilute. Now I've got this draining started. I'm gonna have to go and drain the block too, because this is only gonna get about half the coolant. Right there is a coolant passage drain, 14 millimeter, and it drains the whole block, and I'm gonna do that as well so I get most of the water out. All right, let's get that coolant drain out. While making a huge mess, and yeah, there's no way this is gonna be beautiful. I'm probably gonna douse the camera in coolant, and yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this to the car wash while nobody's looking. The entire bottom side of the car is doused in coolant. I guess that shouldn't be a big shock. The entire upper side of the car is doused in coolant too. Well, considering this car is so... Remember what I said about getting it all over the camera? Yep, I wasn't not lying about that part. Oh, this is gonna be disgusting to clean off the camera. Oh. But hey, it's coming out. It's alright, I'll just reach into my big bag of money and buy 2 more cameras just like it. Mwahaha. All those YouTube dollars coming in. Alright, let's get the plug back in here. I really can't tell how good the video is turning out right now. I know that I got water on the camera though, so if it's a little bit blurry, I'm sorry. And I'd love to show you a nice picture of the plug right now. I'm probably going to get that in post. But the camera's covered in coolant, I'm covered in coolant, everything's covered in coolant, and that would be rather unpleasant for everyone. Where is the wrench? I had it. I swear I had it. I know I had it. You know, I joke about this thing being baptized in coolant, but I had some holy water left over from a trip to Turkey, and my wife got so sick of this car being broken and in the driveway that she came running out one time when I was about to drive off in it and doused it in holy water. And to this day, I think that was probably a really good use of that stuff. This thing has had a cursed past. Alright, now before I forget and have a very serious coolant accident again, I need to find that 12 or 14 millimeter. Aha! Let's tighten this thing down. Here's a look at the underside of the engine. This is the coolant plug that I was draining from. This is the oil level switch that tells me when my oil level's low. And this is the turbo oil return line that I have brazed on here. Of all the things I did, I actually did a pretty good job brazing that thing on, believe it or not. It's one of the few things that I haven't had to redo. Okay, so all the coolant was drained out, the plugs were put back, coolant has been refilled. I went ahead and ran it for a few minutes, flushed everything out and through and all the bubbles through. Now, I need to top it off a little bit, but other than that, we're done with that. Next step, I've put a fuel pressure sender in here. I got a really nice T that splices into my fuel line, and then I put a really cheap Chinese pressure module on it, and lo and behold, the thing failed. Failed after just a few miles. So instead of going out and buying an expensive fuel pressure module for 80 bucks, I'm gonna buy another 20-buck Chinese module that will probably fail about as quickly. Because it's all about saving money.